Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio, halfway point of the week. Now that basketball is done for the most part, it's time to focus on golf.
Yeah, this is Masters week. Of course, the Masters begin tomorrow, but they've already had a couple days of practice down at the Augusta National, and getting tickets for that practice round is like pulling hen's teeth. You have something valuable when you get into the practice sessions. Today is the final practice round if they want to play, but it's also par 3 day. And what has happened for the last 65 years, I think it is, the traditional par 3 tournament has been held the day before the Masters tees off. This is on a 9-hole course. It's adjacent to the Augusta National. It's part of the layout. And the pros get out there, they bring along their wives and kids and have a real fun time. Now, this competition, it's on a 9-hole and it's par 3, but it's a good time also. And everyone gets to relax, enjoy themselves. They get in a little bit of practice, too, on short shooting, but by the same token, it is a relaxing day before the grind begins. So, yeah, par 3 day, and we'll find out just who gets the win in this one, and everybody will have some fun.
I want to look up the average ticket price for the Masters, which, again, everything is going up in concert tickets, but really, a week-long badge, $20K. You want to be there for the whole week? $20,000.
You have to also understand it's a lottery pick, too, because these things are sold out.
Oh, yeah,
so you keep in mind now you have to, you're going to spend hold on. You have to spend some money, yes, but you also have to be on the list, and there are many on that list for years and years before they get the allotment, and then maybe they don't want it. Maybe they don't even alive.
Well, that's what I was trying to say was that you have to get picked and then be ready to spend $20,000 if you get lucky enough to get to spend $20,000. But one thing I wanted to add, if you were just lucky enough to get Thursday through Sunday, $12K.
Oh, yeah, folks.
In this economy, are you crazy? All right, who are the ceremonial first tee shots offered to this year?
Well, this year it's Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson. This is a great honor to be able to have that ceremonial tee shot. It's Arnold Palmer there for years, and of course Nicklaus has been there. But you go back to the old days when Sammy Snead and some of the real old-timers, Gene Sarazen, people of that caliber, were out there with the honorary tee shots. Player, Gary Player, who's been here. He's been to Springfield on a number of occasions. He's 88 years old. You'd never know it from his conditioning. This guy, he is from South Africa. He's a South African farmer. And indeed owns a large plantation down in South Africa. He works that plantation, too, because this guy's in great shape. Anyway, he's 88. He'll be one of them. Nicklaus is 84. And Tommy Watson, the 5-time Missouri State Amateur Champion many years ago, 74 years old. He'll be one of the three. It'll be a fun time. That's tomorrow morning, though. That's how it all starts.
And between those guys, 11 green jackets.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. And Jack's always been one of my favorites. What? Now let's not talk about some not-so-good stuff.
This is a very sad story indeed. A tragedy in the Dominican Republic yesterday. Many people, they had, several hundred people in this club watching a concert, and the roof collapsed. And among the victims was Octavio Dotel, who pitched for the Cardinals and the Royals, and probably, every other team in Big League Baseball. Only 51 years old. He was actually extricated from the wreckage, still alive, but the physical trauma that he had suffered was too great. And Octavio Dotel passes from the scene at the age of 51. That's a real shame. There were 50 other fatalities in this whole tragedy that occurred in the Dominican Republic yesterday. Just a terrible story, but very sad.
So earlier this week, I made the comment that the Royals need to just figure out that pitching, and they're going to have no problems. It seems like they were listening yesterday.
Well, anytime you send Cole Reagans to the hill, you're going to have a very good pitching performance. And he and Pablo Lopez, who is also flying under the radar. Lopez began his career with the Miami Marlins and then got traded in a big trade to the Minnesota Twins. He was the Minnesota's opening day pitcher against the Cardinals in St. Louis about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Anyway, those two hooked up in a great pitcher's battle. Royals win the game 2-1. with a Vinny Pasquantino RBI fielder's choice in the 8th inning. Not a lot of hitting in this contest. It didn't figure to be, but Kansas City gets the win over Minnesota. The Royals need to keep beating these Minnesota Twins. Now, the Cardinals were facing the much-heralded Paul Skeens last night for Pittsburgh. And this is interesting because Skeens has yet to have 1 year in the major leagues. He came in out of LSU early last July, late last June is when he joined the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he joined with a sensational strikeout ratio and all this. But the Cardinals have had success against the guy, and that success continued last night. They slapped him around, had a 5-1 lead. Sonny Gray pitching well, Victor Scott a pair of hits, and the Cardinals get the win 5-3 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And those two teams, Cardinals Pirates and the Twins and Royals, play again this afternoon.
Thank God it's going to be nice and sunny, so we got something to listen to in the office. Did the Missouri State Bears successfully make their trip to Manhattan and back with the win?
No, they did not. It was a tiring trip. They had to come all the way from Carbondale, and this Carbondale on Monday and Manhattan, Kansas on Tuesday by bus. Oh, my goodness sake. Anyway, Kansas State won the game big. A game shortened to 7 innings because of the run rule, the mercy rule that they have. Kansas State won 12-2. There were 10 extra base hits for the Wildcats. So keep in mind, the the Bears are not starting their frontline rotation. That's for conference competition coming up. So the backline competition was whipped up on pretty good by Kansas State. Bears get 2 home runs. That's accounted for their 2 runs. Caden Bogenpole and Nick Rodriguez had back-to-back homers. 12-2, the final. Kansas State gets the win.
Last but not least, the Springfield Cardinals are on the road this week before they head home at the next week. So where are they at?
They're pretty good. They're out in Amarillo in western Texas, and they opened up a series last night, had a 9-2 lead until the 9th inning, and then they added to it with 7 more runs, and the Springbirds win by a score of 16-7 over the Amarillo Sod Poodles, who helped out the cause by committing 5 errors. Now, it doesn't happen very much in pro baseball at any level, but it did yesterday with Amarillo. Anyway, a big 16-7 win for the Springfield Cardinals, and I have a feeling this team's pretty doggone good.
Yeah, I think we've got some good teams in the state this year, Ned. You have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.